Good evening. Today we shall be dealing with ECG case number 6. The title is To Have Sight but No Vision. Please like, share and subscribe and press the bell icon for further notifications. This is a 68-year-old female with dizziness referred to a cardiologist as a case of six sinus syndrome for pacemaker implantation. You can have a look at this ECG which shows profound bradycardia and have a look at the options on the side and decide what to do next. So A, you can implant a PPI, which is a permanent pacemaker. B is you can do an EP study, which is an electrophysiological study where you study the conduction properties of the conduction pathways. C is you give oxyprenalin, which is a beta agonist, which is used to increase the heart rate. Or D is you evaluate for other causes. So as usual, if you require further time, you can pause the video or you can continue onwards. So have a look at the T waves as the arrow points. You can see that T waves are sharp and are peaked. Your normal T wave is supposed to be smooth and rounded and should imperceptibly merge with the baseline. There should be no sharpness or peaking of the T wave. What has happened here is actually you have a atrial premature complex and the P wave has fallen on the T wave and this cycle recurs. So we have a P wave here, which is responsible for this QRS complex, followed by a P wave, which has fallen on top of the T wave. And this P wave is too early and has occurred in the refractory period of the QRS complex, and hence it is non-conducted. And this cycle subsequently recurs. So this is actually a non-conducted APC occurring in bigeminy. So this is a non-conducted atrial premature complex with atrial bigeminy as this complex recurs. So you see a normal P wave, a blocked P wave, normal and a blocked, normal and a blocked, and so on. So this is your cardiac action potential along with the QRS complex. You can see that from the beginning of the QRS to say the ascending limb of the T wave, you have the absolute and effective refractory periods. These are periods where no matter the strength of the stimulus, no action potential is generated. So if you have an impulse which falls in this period, like our premature atrial complex did, action potential is not generated. Now you have a RRP, which is a relative refractory period, where an action potential can be generated if a higher degree of stimulus is used. Last is your supranormal period, which is a small period in the descending limb of the T wave, where even a small stimulus can generate an action potential. So the atrial complex is so premature that it has fallen in the absolute refractory period, hence no further QRS complex is generated. So T wave is a low frequency deflection. It is always domed and it should imperceptibly merge with the baseline. Any sharp deflection is abnormal. Let's have a look at this ECG. This is a case of 2:1 AV block. Now, if you look casually, it looks almost similar to the previous ECG. Why is this a 2:1 AV block and not an atrial bigeminy with a non-conducted premature atrial complex as the previous ECG? You can see this P wave is similar to this P wave, which is non-conducted. And this P wave that is not too premature. It is not occurring in the T waves. So this P wave is actually blocked because of some problem with the conduction system and not because it is too early. So this is a normal P wave and it is not premature. So this is the difference. So you have a normal P wave which is conducted. You have another normal P wave which is generated. It is not premature and this is not generating a QRS complex because of some problem in your conducting system which prevents it transmitted to the ventricle. And this cycle recurs. So this is not an atrial bigeminy. This is actually a 2:1 AV block. So again, you can see a normal P wave, a P wave which is non-conducted. It is not premature enough that it falls on the refractory period. Again, you have a P wave, you have another normal P wave which is blocked because of some problem with the conducting system. So a 2:1 AV block, the P wave is normal and it is abnormally blocked due to some problem with the conducting system. A non-conducted APC, the P wave is abnormal because it is too premature, but the block is physiological because the P wave is generated in the absolute refractory period. So a 2:1 AV block, you have a normal P wave which is abnormally blocked. A non-conducted APC, the P wave is abnormal, That is, it's premature, but the block is physiological. What do you do for this patient? It's an elderly person, so you have to rule other causes of dizziness. The dizziness need not always be cardiac. It could be some ENT problems, could be some posterior circulation problems. So you wrote other problems of dizziness. Even it could be orthostatic hypotension. So try to rule out other causes of dizziness. If there is no other cause, you work up for other causes of premature atrial complexes like electrolyte imbalances, thyroid diseases, hypoxia, some certain lung diseases, certain drugs can cause it. So you try to run other causes of premature atrial complexes and if possible correct it. A halter will be useful. You need to see what is going on. Is there any other blocks, like the patient would have a complete heart block or any other run of VT? We're not very sure. So you try to do a halter and find out is there any other problem which can cause dizziness. Last is what you can do is you can do an exercise also. You can make the patient walk up and down, and this will increase your sinus rate. So sinus acceleration usually abolishes this premature atrial complexes. So try to make the patient walk up and down, and if possible, you can even do a TMT and see what happens to your blocked premature atrial complexes. Also, you can wait for a few days. Ectopics come and go. So your ectopics may settle down and you need not have to do anything at all. So after doing all this, as a last resort, because the patient is symptomatic due to your blocked PAC, you can try antiarrhythmics. Class 1 and class 3 antiarrhythmics are effective, but this should be a last resort. And if the patient is not tolerating, you can find out the focus of the atrial premature complex and try to ablate it. Again, this is not usually done. This should be done as a last resort. So keep in mind this important ECG presentation, and please like, share, subscribe, and press the bell icon to get notified when a new video uploads. Thank you.